morning. So, I am Erik Marks. I'm a developer at Metamask, working primarily on our plugin system. And I am here to give an intro to that for all of the hackers in the room. For those of you that have seen our talk at DevCon in October, or if you used snaps to hack at ETHWaterloo perhaps, this will be probably familiar material for you. But nevertheless, we have some announcements at the end as well for bounties and so on. But anyway, to start off, Metamask Snaps is our plugin system which allows the Ethereum community to build plugins for Metamask and execute them and create scripts that execute securely inside the Metamask background process using secure ECMAScript. In plain English, you can extend the functionality of Metamask without involving us or making a PR. And so to start off, I just want to show a couple of things. So we have a community Telegram channel, and I'll show this again at the end if you want to. All right, there we go. So we have a community Telegram channel, and we have our two repositories, the MetaMask Snaps beta, and okay, we're gonna give this a shot. So I will show this again at the end. But in any event, we have a Telegram channel that you can join. To waste no more time, I just want to dig into real quick how you get started building a snap using the command line utility we created for that purpose. So I'm just going to do a quick run through of that to give you an overview of how it works. And the flow for creating a snap will be familiar to most of you, and we have this command line utility mmsnap. And all right, that better? Okay. And so the flow will be familiar to many of you. A snap is effectively like has the same format as a node package. And so we call this init command, and it will just walk you through sort of the normal npm init flow, creating an index.js, a package.json, and so on. Then we have an extra flow at the end, where we add sort of the information that that Metamask needs in order to identify this as a snap. And so we are going to use the default values, but I'll just show you anyway. We have a local port for where we're going to host it when we develop, an output directory, and initial permissions. And we'll get to what that means in just a second. So, and we see that it succeeded. And so I'm going to start up a couple of other commands as we go along here. I'm going to watch for changes, and it will rebuild the plugin source code. And I'm going to serve it locally as well. Right. So now, going over to Chrome, if I refresh, we have this very beautiful front end visible for all of you. And I have the Snaps beta version of Metamask loaded here. I'm sorry that that's kind of small, but it's the same Metamask you all know, except we expose a couple of buttons for the convenience while developing snaps in this version. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit connect here. And we're going to get this prompt that first asks for permission for the dApp to install and communicate with this snap, identified by the URL where we're hosting its package.json file. And so we're going to approve that. And then we get a second prompt and this is the snap asking for permission to show alerts over the current page. And we're going to go ahead and click OK for that as well. Now this is the hello world snap, so it has a single method, and we can call send hello, and it says here, too small to read probably, but hello localhost. And so what's the big deal with that? The big deal with that is, if we go back here and open the, you can open the index.html file, and we'll see it has like the buttons and all that stuff that you'd expect. But here, we construct the URL where the package.json file is hosted. And when we click connect, it requests the dApp requests permission to speak to the snap, and then MetaMask fetches it and installs it. And here we have the method that calls the snaps method, which is this wallet invoke plugin method, which in turn takes a parameter, which is the snap that you're trying to talk to, and then like a normal RPC request object. And if we look at that inside the source file for the plugin, we see that it's only 10 lines long about. We register, wallet is basically MetaMask Ethereum provider API that you know from like dApps with some extra functionality, including this register RPC message handler. That so this, we call this once inside the snap source code, and then you define how to handle the various method that your snap has. So basically what this allows you to do is it allows you to extend the functionality, arbitrarily extend the functionality of the MetaMask in-page provider. And with snaps, you have, obviously you have memory state, you have persistent state, and you can extend our in-page provider with any RPC method you want. And people have used this for a variety of things, including to Starkware have a plugin where they run their cryptography inside of MetaMask using snaps. We had people who created at ETHWaterloo a dead man switch account using snaps. And so here we see this hello method that was called from inside. And it says hello origin string. And since we can't really see the result on the screen, unfortunately, I'm not going to change this, but that's like how the what the method looks like. And that's basically the gist of it and what you need in order to start building. And I'll go back real quick to this preview here and reiterate that the community Telegram group will be the best way to like find us and communicate. We'll be on site the entire weekend. We have a help desk shift at the consensus table tomorrow from 12 to 1:30 p.m. We'll be there, and we'll be happy to help you with any MetaMask-related questions that you bring to us at that time. And you can always try to ping us through Telegram. The reason we're using Telegram, if you're not a fan of that, you can complain to Pat from RDI, who created that channel. And one last thing, for those of you who are interested in making custom accounts, so trying to add contract accounts to MetaMask or some extra functionality related to accounts, I encourage you to look at the custom accounts branches of the Snaps Beta and Snaps CLI repositories, where we have added APIs to MetaMask that expose, that allow snaps to add accounts and manage them. And finally, I just want to, just like at ETHWaterloo, there is a snaps bounty, and at ETHWaterloo, one of the grand prize winners took home that snaps bounty as well. So I highly encourage you to take a look at that on the bounties page. And that is basically it for me. If you have any questions, I'll be over by the green room at the side of the stage, and you can feel free to reach out now or anytime over the weekend. Thank you so much.